I used a whole lot of words in this video to say that I really enjoyed season 2, and I just wish we didn't have to wait so long to get to season 2. And hopefully the prayer is that we don't have to wait that long to get to season 3. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Whole Views. Thank you for clicking that thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about Invincible Season 2. So I haven't done that many videos on Invincible. It is one of the best animated shows that you can watch. So with the conclusion of Season 2, here at the day of recording, I did want to give my reaction to that episode as well as talk about the entire season. This is how we're going to do things. I'm going to praise the show because the show is worthy of being praised, and also talk about the people who just don't seem to be able to get on board with animation. Then I'm going to offer up my one critique, and then I'm going to mention the one thing that I thought would be different or could be different, but I'm ultimately happy about the way it turned out. So with all that being said, check the chapters in the description if you want to jump around the video, and let's get to it. First, heaping praise on the show. This show to me seems very well planned out and very well executed. And with the amount of time that we have between seasons and that annoying break that I'm going to talk about later, there's no excuse for it not being planned out well. I think that they have used the time between seasons and even that break to really lay the foundation for a show that is worthy of people following it and waiting with great anticipation, looking forward to it coming back each season or each time that it's off of the air. I know some people get caught up with the superhero thing and some people get caught up with the animation thing, but the stories and the human perspectives that they offer you on this show, just all the deep character work that we get from J.K. Simmons, from Stephen Young, Kari Payton, and all the other people that are involved with the show. There are so many characters that are well-known actors that are really doing well on this show when it comes to their voiceover work, as well as the writing of it is just so superb. I'm very happy with all the dialogue and all the storylines. I don't think that animation should hold anybody back from enjoying a really good story. And the superhero stuff aside, all the stuff between Mark and his dad, the relationship dynamic between Omni-Man and his wife, all those things are super, super interesting. And, the superhero element of it all just kind of moves the story along and gives you some entertainment between all the superhuman moments between those characters. The Adam Eve stuff along with Mark and his girlfriend, all that stuff, Mark in college, all that stuff is super interesting. And the superhero stuff just complicates a relatively mundane situation. Like Mark in college wouldn't be a thing if there were no powers and there were no superheroes and aliens and stuff being involved in this story. So it takes a young man trying to make a decision about his educational future. It takes that and makes it 10 times more interesting because look at all the other things that he's responsible for. And I think, to me, as a person who doesn't mind animation, it makes it incredibly impressive, and it makes me care about the decision that he makes. And ultimately in the finale, when he made the decision on college, totally understandable and really a nice moment between mother and son. Take all that other stuff out. This show is full of moments like that, and I actually still feel very sad for all those people who can't get past the fact that it's a cartoon or get past the fact that it's superheroes involved. There's a lot of good moments in this show, and the show's just well executed. My one criticism of the show is actually not a criticism of the show itself. It's a criticism of the production of the show. The idea that we had to take a 2 or 3 month break in a 8-episode show is ridiculous. I thought that at some point on the back half of the season, we would see some type of sign as to what they were doing different. And it didn't seem like anything different. It just took 2 months off for the sake of taking 2 months off. I don't know if the animations weren't finished. I don't know if they needed more time to do things. I don't know how things went. I just know that it was incredibly displeasing to get 4 episodes, take that long of a break, and then get 4 more episodes. Not to be disrespectful to anybody who works on the show, but like the animation of the show is not so good or so high level or so densely packed like a Rick and Morty, where every frame can be peered into and like poked around and look at all the little small details in the backgrounds. Like, you don't have that on this show. This show is relatively simple to animate from my visuals. Now, yes, the fight choreography is great. The voiceover, as I've talked about, very, very good performances by everybody involved. but it just doesn't seem like it requires tons and tons of time compared to some of the other stuff that we see animated. And I'm very much into anime, and it's just not mind blowing, and it doesn't seem like it warrants that amount of time for production. But that's the only criticism I have of the show: the fact that we had to wait almost 2 years, almost 3 years for season two, and even when we got season two, we had to take a break for production reasons or for whatever reason. And the only thing that I thought that the show would have done differently, remember everyone, I am not a reader of comics. I don't read any of the mangas or the animes that I watch. I don't read any of the comics of the cartoons that have been turned into series that I watch. I watch everything, right? And with that being said, I didn't know how this ending fight would go with Angstrom Levy. So if you haven't seen that finale episode, go ahead and watch that, come back and check this out. But my thought about the Angstrom Levy fight is this. I thought that they had the opportunity to do something really smart and really different with Mark. One of the big things about this season is that Mark had set out on a mission to prove himself that he is not his father. And so we are presented with an opportunity here, and I thought they would take it. So we are in that final fight where Mark and Angstrom are face to face, and Angstrom is using his family as bait against Mark, and he's dangling them in front of him, and Mark actually lowers the defensive aggressive stance, and he says, "Hey, you were trying to save me." And he starts to use his words, and we see that affect Angstrom in a way. And I thought that, hey, to really drive home the fact that he isn't his father, we're going to have him have a moment right here where he diffuses a situation where he clearly is angry enough to kill, and he can kill. We're not going to make him kill here. We're going to make him solve the problem with words and actually emotionally connect with Angstrom and talk him off the ledge and get him to let his family go, and then maybe resume the fight somewhere else. We get a little more action and an actual physical climax. But even if they chose not to do that, that would have been cool too. Just talk him off the ledge and get him back inside his right mind. That would have been cool. That would have been dope. I thought they were gonna do that, and they didn't do that, and they had Mark beat him to death, which I was actually happy with too, because I was very, very happy and pleased to see Mark finally cut loose. When he said, "You don't know how much I've been holding back," I sat in my seat yes, this is what I wanted to see from you. Finally cut loose and do something to someone in a situation where it was totally understandable and reasonable for you to cut back and let loose on this guy. I know that there are some people who've read the comics and they know exactly how that fight would have played out. I'm not one of them. And I thought, they might make him use his words. Ultimately, they didn't, but that is not a point of criticism for me. I just thought things would go differently, and I'm still satisfied with how they went. I used a whole lot of words in this video to say that I really enjoyed season two, and I just wish we didn't have to wait so long to get to season two. And hopefully the prayer is that we don't have to wait that long to get to season three. That's the major point that I want to make here in this video. I love Invincible. I think it's great. I thought they would do a few things differently, but even though they went in a way that I didn't think they were going to go, I'm still happy with the product that they gave me with every single episode. I know that there's some teenage angst in there and a little relationship drama that some people may not like. I understand the character's 18, 19 years old, and I get that there's going to be that, and I'm fine with watching him go along on this journey. Now, in subsequent seasons, we need to see Mark grow out of that, especially if any time passes, hey, let's be more direct about what we want and what we want to see happen. But at this point in the character's life, I'm very happy with it, and I'm ultimately incredibly happy with the show. Let me know your thoughts about this video, or my thoughts on the Angstrom Levy fight, or any other thoughts I had about the production break. If you know more than me, please let me know in the comment section. And that's all we got for this one, y'all. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.